Hey, what's going on, YouTube? This is Eric Castro coming to you live. Big Cheif, that's right, that's me. And then we got Doc over here. Doc, say what's up.
What's up?
All right, so check it out. The Doc called me all extra frisky this morning. After his workout. I don't know. I don't really quite know what's going on, but he says he's got some fighting words for me. So I said, bring it on, because you know me, I ain't scared of no fight. So let's go. What you got for me there, Fonz?
Well, I think I already threw some blows earlier this morning. And so, basically what I was dealing with earlier this morning was what my battle was, right? And what my battle was about, right? And my battle is always, is my battle. And I remember hearing somebody the other day, it's like, oh, you beat me to the gym. And it's like, well, if you're competing against me, I did, but last I checked, I'm competing against myself. So I'm not trying to get a trophy here. And I'm not going to get a trophy because I'm going to keep going to the gym day in and day out. And unless I'm going to compete against others and put myself up against others, I might, get a trophy. But the reality is that this is for me.
Right. It's always for you. When you're in the gym, that shit's for you. You're not doing it for anybody else.
Right.
You can do it so you can feel better about yourself, so you can do it for somebody else. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because everybody has their own reasons why they're in the gym. Everybody has their own reasons. Um, when I was a whippersnapper, and still in high school and stuff, I was yoked out. And then when I went in the military, I was yoked out. But when I got out, I tried to stay yoked, but I just gradually found myself getting fat. And that's the truth. That's just 10 years of, just packing it on. And, California burritos are okay because I go to the gym, once a day. But when I was in the military, I was going to the gym, 3 times a day. That shit was like mandatory. You had to be working out. And then when you get out, it's not the same thing no more.
Right. Exactly. And I think that's well the most important part of what you're saying right now is that the reality is that it's not the same thing anymore. Right. And so a lot of the times we have our loser self telling us and trying to convince us that our new self is our old self. And it's not.
Okay, so I want everybody to really like focus on what he just said, that your loser self is coming in and talking shit to you early in the morning, at 4:30 when your alarm goes off. You're like, oh yeah, you're good, dude. Like you've been putting it in, like real hard this week. You don't need to do that. You know, um, for instance, one of my workout buddies, yesterday, he decided just that he needed a rest day, or just decided he wasn't going to show up. And I text him the night before, be like, hey, we're doing back this day. And then he says, he just never texts me back. So like, okay, I knew what was going to happen. I knew, but it happened anyway. So what can I do about it? I just work out on my own. Right. But that didn't change my routine just because he didn't show up. I still got to be there.
Right.
This morning, I needed a rest day. Like I just been working, right? So I needed a rest day, and my alarm went off. I wasn't tired because I went to bed early like I normally do, and my schedule was just on. So I got up and I played ball this morning. I didn't go to lift weights because I can go later, but I didn't skip on that. I haven't forgotten about that. I haven't forgot that I still want to lift weights, but I just went to go play ball in the morning. I wanted some cardio, like what's important to you? What are you gonna do? What actions are you gonna take to be better than you were yesterday? How are you gonna set yourself up today for your future self to thank you tomorrow? What are you doing?
Right. Exactly. What is it that we're doing? And that's the bottom line. The bottom line is you still got up. You have the same things that goes through most of our heads. Oh no, it's all right. Just sleep in a little bit more. And I was like, no, right? Get your ass up. Get your ass up. And it's still me. Both things are me. Both sides are me. It's still me dealing with me. And so it's like, get your ass up, and go, right? Because what are we building? What is it that we're building? Are we building, whatever it is that we allow to live is what's going to live. And so if we're fat, if we're overweight, if we're, we have health issues, we fucking whatever, it doesn't matter. Whatever it is, whatever our weaknesses are, if we continue to allow weaknesses to dwell within us and we don't fight back, then that's what we're going to be, right? And it shows, in the population, because I mean, we're the number one population of obesity. Why? Because not just because we've gotten lazy and we've made everything so convenient. Everything has to be so fucking convenient now, but it's and I hear people say, and it's like sometimes I just want to slap the shit out of them for saying stupid shit. It's like, oh well, it's so convenient to have the phone and all this, and it's like it's helped my life. It's like, exactly how has it helped your life, fucker? You're 275 fucking pounds and you got diabetes, and exactly how is it helping your life? Just because it made you lazier,
makes you feel good about yourself.
It's exactly what it is, but it's bullshit. It's a lie. It's a lie. We lie to ourselves. That's exactly what I'm trying to get at. This is why I was talking about throwing blows. We lie to ourselves. We lie to ourselves, telling us that, oh no, because I've been working out. I have the same thing. And I was like, dude, I've been exactly what you said. It's the same devil. It's the same devil. It's the same spirit. It's the same spirit. It's the same spirit of bullshit. And
bullshit.
And he's like, which is me. And because I say he, it can be a she, it can be you, as if you're a female. And it's like, the voice inside of me, which is me, saying, hey, you've been working really hard, man. It's cool. Just chill. And it's bullshit, because it's bullshit. There's nothing. I was like, no, fuck that.
You're like, who? Like, sometimes I had to like stop and just like kind of look around, and be like, who's talking to me right now?
Right.
Like, whose voice is that? I was like, that's not me. That's not my normal voice. Like, I don't talk like that. Who's talking? Like, is there somebody in my head? Like, get out of there. Get out of there. Like, I wake up at 4 o'clock. I like waking up at 4 o'clock. I don't drink. I like not drinking. That's a trademark. That's Eric's trademark. You don't drink.
Right. Right.
That's his shit. He just doesn't drink. Okay, cool.
Right, exactly. And that's the whole thing, is that we just have to face the reality. What voice are we listening to today? Isn't that what I sent?
Yeah, what voice are you listening to today? Like, I get it, like some days I have that voice, but like, oh man, you could do it, man, fuck all those guys, like make that shit happen. Other days like, man, fuck, I can't do this shit, like who am I trying to fool? And at the same time, I like dude telling me I could do it, but in all practicality, I probably couldn't, but that's not the point. The point is like getting after what you want, and chasing the same goal. If you're chasing this goal and it kind of fades out and you go back to it, that's something you got to pay attention to. But if you chase this goal and it fades out and then it comes up again, but you're like, that's not something you should be chasing. You understand? So you got to figure out, you got to learn how to work with these voices, definitely, but you got to learn how to recognize them too.
There you go. And that's what I was saying earlier. What wanting and being are two different things. You either are or you're not, right? Wanting and being are two different things. This is who I am, right? But I can't find out who I am until I start fighting those other voices in my head.
You can't find out who you are until you've been consistent with who you want to be.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Like, I can say I'm the type of guy, I can say I'm a morning person. I can say that now, because being, being bipolar and having, learning how to recognize what it is and how it comes on and how long it takes and this, that, and the other, coupled with, getting up and doing my morning routine, and along with all my 60-day challenges that I did, along with my eating habits and all that stuff that I did, I can honestly say I'm a morning person, who has trouble eating, like who likes bread, I guess, and I could point out,
You're
my
fat.
flaws.
Stop sugarcoating that shit.
I can point out my flaws now. You know what I mean?
That's your weakness. I told you we were gonna be fucking hitting fucking weaknesses today. We're gonna be fucking throwing jabs at those weaknesses.
Absolutely. I try to mention all my flaws, like like very openly.
Hey Eric, you like bread like hoes like dick.
I guess, like I ain't trying to eat bread though.
You guess. Yeah, man. I hear you.
I just ain't trying to eat that. I just ain't trying to eat bread, like. But then, every now and then, that voice comes up and tells me, oh yeah, you need to carb up or whatever. Like I don't need to do that shit, but I do it anyway. But like for the most part, I cut that shit out. Why? Because it doesn't serve me. Like for me, it doesn't serve me. It might serve other people. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not saying don't do it, but I'm saying I don't do it. Why? Because every time I eat bread, I just don't feel good about myself for some odd reason, so it might be a psychological thing. It's probably a physical thing. Like I believe it is, like gluten intolerance and all that shit. So I just don't eat it. But that's a flaw that I crave that shit every now and then. It's a flaw that I fall back into that, and it's a flaw that I have to fight myself to quit eating it after, falling into that shit again. You know what I mean? That's a drug to me. That's drinking to me.
I hear you. It's the same thing, bro. I mean, it's like this morning, in my breakfast, I'm sitting here, I'm looking at what I'm eating. I have a little bit of protein in there and a little bit of carbs, and I'm looking at my servings, and I'm looking at my servings, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna mind fuck myself, basically. I'm gonna trick my mind a little bit, right? And so, I'm saying, I'm using vulgar language every now and then. I try not to. That's one of the things too. It's just, it's just part of what I'm dealing with too. And I'll clean it up. But the whole thing is that I looked at these plates, and there was 2 plates, and I looked at the big plate, and every time that I put my servings on a big plate, it makes me feel like I'm not eating enough. And so I was like, dude, you know what? I'm gonna switch that in my head, and I'm gonna serve my food on a small plate. And when I serve my food on a small plate, sure enough, it looks like I'm eating a lot, and it just my serving looks healthy, and that's the biggest thing. My serving looks healthy, and so it's like because it's always been healthy, but it's just because I have this big ass plate, and I'm trying to fill up my plate. It's like, well, why don't you use a smaller plate so you have a healthier, right? Now, I don't know if people are following me here, but serve yourself in a smaller plate so you can have a healthier serving. And that's basically what I had this morning. I had a really healthy serving of the food that I needed to feed myself for energy and performance. That's all I'm eating for. I'm not worried about the taste. Now, it doesn't mean that the food doesn't taste good. I'm not worried about, that it's not a piece of bacon and those high fat content, good tasting foods. I'm still eating, good tasting food. It's a little bit of broccoli, some cauliflower and chicken. That was my morning breakfast.
What are you getting at? I don't understand.
Huh?
What are you getting at?
What I'm getting at is that
you want a pat on your back? Or is that who you are?
No. What I'm saying is that these are things that we can all do to help us get to a better place. If you're dealing with that situation, right?
What situation?
Like if you're dealing with excess food, if you're dealing with bread, then why have bread in your house? If you're a dope head, why do you keep smoking weed and going to the store and buying dope? It's like beer. Right? You know that you don't want to drink beer. You don't drink beer, but yet you go and you buy the alcohol and you bring it to your house. It's just one of those things, right? Why do we continue doing those things that are affecting us in a certain way? So then switch your mind. It's flipping the switch. You got to flip the switch. It's like what Arnold was talking about. He knows that he's going to the gym and he's about to hit 225 pounds 10 times. But then he knows that, and his body's already conditioned that. So he's hit a plateau, he says. And so when he hit the plateau, he's like, no, I'm not going to do that this time. This time, I'm going to hit 250, and I'm going to hit it this many times, and then I'm going to drop it, and then I'm going to go 25 reps, and I'm just going to shock my body, right? Because we get into a rut of comfortability, and then that's what I'm talking about. It's always trying to find a way to make yourself better. What is it? What's the next step?
And not don't. There's a fine line between making yourself better and making yourself feel better. You understand that? Like, some people, it'll make them feel better to go drinking. That doesn't mean it's to go out drinking, to go have a beer, after a long, stressful day, like I used to do it, now I hit a J, like I used to go and, have a drink. That was my getaway, I used to do that, but now I don't do that anymore. Now, I watch a YouTube video or I try to learn something, I go to the gym, I try to have dinners and stuff like that. That's what I do now.
Right.
That's the mind conditioning.
Yeah, you're still in the weaning process. You're still weaning things out. You're still weaning off of things.
Well, I mean, those things are going to be there. They're not going away. This is the times that we live in, Fonzie. Bread's not going away. I'm sorry. I'm never not going to not eat bread. Why? Because I work too hard not to enjoy all things. You understand what I'm saying? If I want to have a drink, by golly, I'll have a drink. I'll go do that. Right. There's certain things I just won't do anymore, but there's certain things I definitely will. And those things that I won't do anymore, I'm not restricted because I'm afraid that I'm going to do it and it's going to be bad for me. No, I'm doing it because it's a conscious choice not to anymore. You understand what I'm saying? It's a conscious choice not to anymore. Temptation is going to be there. Temptation is going to be there, but it's your conscious choice whether you're gonna fall into the same old shit that you get tired of doing, which is not the temptation. It's not the beer. The alcohol doesn't get you drunk. Like you get yourself drunk with alcohol. You understand? Like, quit fooling yourself. Quit fooling yourself. Quit trying to fool everybody else too, because it's not working. It's not working.
So I'm looking at the definition of weaning, right? Weaning is the process of gradually introducing an infant, human, or mammal to what will be its adult diet while withdrawing the supply of its mother's milk. The process takes place only in mammals, as only mammals produce milk. The infant is considered to be fully weaned once it's no longer fed any breast milk, right? And so it's the same thing, right? When I'm saying weaning, it's basically weaning ourselves off of the traditional things that we have done, the things that most people do. Because again, how were you introduced to drinking? Well, because alcohol was readily available. How is it that you're introduced to weed? Well, because it was readily available, or maybe it wasn't, but then it was one of those top taboo things when we were growing up. It was like, oh my gosh, wow, let's go check this out. And so it's, again, we delve into these things, we taste these things, and we know that certain things are good. Like, why don't we need milk anymore, right? Why do we wean ourselves off the milk? Well, because we don't need it anymore. And so it goes back to, what is it that we need in our lives, and then what is it that we don't need, right? And so then we come to that reality, and then it's like, yeah, like you said, sometimes I may have a bag of Doritos, I may just have them, but I may not, and it's like I right now I don't feel like I'm worried about that. That's not my problem. That's not my problem. That's not my issue.
You're not worried about a bag of Doritos.
No.
You're worried about the 10 bag of Doritos because you ate that one bag of Doritos. That's what you're worried about. You're worried about the binge after the fuck up. Because we all do it. Be like, oh, I'm gonna have one chip, and then 10 chips are like, oh, I'm gonna have just one more. You're like, come on, dude. Like, that's why I don't start the shit in the first place. You understand? Like,
that's exactly right.
I've conditioned myself. I've studied myself long enough to know what not to do, so I don't fall into the same old shit that I used to get into. I don't lie to myself anymore. You know, it's not okay with me. So I stopped doing it. And and that's where a lot of people get hung up too. They they lie to themselves, and they keep on lying to themselves. They keep on lying to themselves. And then nobody's there to slap them awake. That's what I call it. Slapping somebody awake. Have you ever like someone asks you like, hey, like, and they expect you to answer their way, and you're like, fuck no. Like that's fucked up, or that's wrong, or no, you're wrong. Like, or you just like straight up be like, that's fucking stupid. Like, why would you even think that? And they're like, they look at you like, whoa, 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 whoa. You're on the other side of this? Why aren't you mad?
Absolutely.
Why aren't you mad? Because it's not my choice, buddy. That's your choice. That's why I'm
Right.
not all fed up about it, because I've already made my choice not to have a drink here, you know?
Right. And that's exactly what it is. And that's just being able to be you, and really being you, not being confused about who you are. It's being you.
Yeah.
And it's like,
I used to go look, check this out. I used to go to the bar, and people used to make fun of me. Not make fun, they didn't make fun of me. I mean, these are my homies, but they used to tease me. They're like, hey man, how are you gonna walk into a bar and not drink? I'm like, well, dude, like, I'm trying to hang out with you guys, and all you want me to do is drink with you. Like, well, dude, you look weird without drinking. I'm like, fuck you. Fuck you. I was like, well, I'll leave then. How about that? Like, I thought I was your homeboy. I didn't think I was there to fucking make you look cool. Like, fuck it. Then I'm out of here.
Right. Now we're talking about, the reality of the people that we were around, and that just, it comes back to that's a different topic all by itself. It's who, there's the people that say, that have those sayings where, tell me who you're with, or what those sayings. I don't really follow those sayings, but they're true. Tell me who you hang out with. I tell you who you are.
Show me your friends. I'll show you your future.
Yeah, there you go. Show me your friends. I'll show you your future. And it's so true, because it's like, who do you surround yourself with? And it's like,
I hang out a lot by myself.
Well, that's what starts to happen.
And right? then I guess I meet people at the hobbies and the things that I enjoy doing,
Right. And they're out there. It's just a matter of clicking with them, right? Because obviously, and so it's just hard to find that when we've been on the wrong path for so long. Because typically we make friends when we're in, elementary, junior high, middle, and high school.
College,
and then when we,
jobs.
College, I mean, and sometimes we make some friends while we're at different jobs or whatever, but you really, your core amount of the core friendships that you make are from those, those times when you're in school. And so then, we once we tend to graduate or get out of school and those things start to happen, then we're just kind of in the ocean with every other living thing. And then it just becomes a little bit more difficult to plug in, but it's there, people are there. The people are there. It's just a matter of plugging it in. And what sometimes is difficult is plugging, because what happens is that we got so used to plugging in with people that were the amens and the yes men's and all that other shit, that once we actually plug in with those that challenge us, then it becomes exactly what I just said, a challenge. We get challenged by the people that are just like us. And then it's like, oh shit, and so now we're in a different, it's a different type of spotlight. And sometimes, in that reality, we tend to try to shine away from it. And then we become secluded because we don't know what to do anymore. It's like that, we belong in the wolf pack. We belong in that pack, but I was taken away at a young age, right? And now that I'm trying to get back into the pack, I'm not. It's like I'm having a hard time getting back into the pack. But that's like nature, right? Nature, when you see it, they have it like the Nature Channel, right, or whatever, Discovery Channel, whatever you want to call it. I've seen it where wolves get separated for so long, right? A wolf gets separated, or a lion, or gets separated from its pack, and then it's having a hard time,
readjusting back into the wild, I guess.
adjusting back into who that thing is, whatever it is, whether it's you, a lion, or Adam, whatever, it doesn't matter.
And you have trouble adjusting to fitting in where you're supposed to fit in? Is that what you're telling me?
I'm not saying that. I don't have an issue with that. I think that you may have an issue with that.
Interesting.
Because you've been alone for so long. Right? And so when we're speaking these things, right, it's like, okay, well, what is it that we're dealing with? Why do I feel like I'm the lone wolf? I'm not a lone wolf. I have no problem being around people. I have no problem being around people and being able to have conversations with people, jumping in and out of conversations and doing my thing and not having conflict with people in that sense. There's going to be.
I think a lot of it has to do with me protecting my personal energy, my personal power. I got a lot of intuition. Very spiritual. Like I feel like I got guides and stuff like that just like steer me in the right direction and steer me where I need to be. And I just don't find myself opening up to a lot of people just because I've had my energy stolen in the past. I've had just things stolen in the past. So I'm like the guardian. I just guard myself now. And I don't think that's a bad way to be. And just not everybody can come up to my gate. Just not everybody can come up to my gate. I don't open myself up just to everybody because I've done that before and it didn't serve me well. So now I do things that serve me well, and yeah, like you said, like I enjoy being a lone wolf because there's not very many people that would be able to fit in my pack. I'm not looking to join my pack again in the past. I'm starting my new pack. Like, who wants to roll with me? Like I'm gonna be doing this all by myself. Who wants to roll? That's why I'm a lone wolf. That's why I'm a lone wolf.
Right. And I get it. I mean, that's just, one of those things that you're going to be going through in your life and you're going to see if that works or not. You're going to have to figure that out.
It's the only thing that has worked. In the civilian world. So I'm going to roll with it. Don't fix something that's not broke. I'm rolling with it. I enjoy it.
Right. That's all that matters.
My circle is small, right. But who said that you needed a big circle? Who said you needed a small circle? Whose rules are we talking about?
Right.
Who's they? Who's who? If you want to get deep and you want to start throwing punches and shit, like I could, like I'm not a dummy, like I get it, I could survive, I don't really need nothing, like God has my back and that's it, right. However, it's not fun to live that way. It's not fun to be to be all that, in a bag of chips all the time, like I like to relax, I like to kick back. I like to not have to look over my shoulders and worry, you know what I mean? That's, I like having a pack. It's cool having a wolf pack, like, but I don't need one and I don't need to be a part of one and I don't need anybody's little club, like I just do me.
Well, and that's the thing. And that's definition. That's just coming down to the thing where, you definitely figured that piece out, as far as, knowing what to allow and not to allow. In my case, it just as an example, it's that I've been through all that already. I know what all that is, and even in my newness now, it's like, okay, well, I know that I knew that I needed to close it up. I knew that I needed to say, okay, peace out, everybody, for a minute, because I need my time, and so now my gates are open. My gates are open. They're open now. As far as me having gates, my gates are open. So it's like not having a wall at all. right? It's like I don't have any issues now. But in my experience, it's like, okay, well, if you're coming on my path, I have a choice to make, right? Because now it's my choice, right? It's not like, you know, um, I'm 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 forced to do anything, like you said. You know, we're going to get deep with that. You know, it's the same thing. It's like, okay, well, you know, you're coming through my path. What does it mean that you're in my path right now? Am I supposed to eat you? You know, are you food? Are you just something that I'm supposed to learn from? You know, what are you in my path right now? And so then I'm able to learn from each thing that comes through and decide on whether it's are you coming in? Are you coming in or are you just passing through? Right? And
Yeah, that's where you know, like where I go back to, you know, I'm guarded because of what I'm trying to protect. I'm trying to protect, you know, myself, which is the most valuable, and I'm trying to protect my energy. You know what I mean? So, you know, like, what are you gonna like? What kind of shit? What kind of people are you gonna put up with? The you know, like, where are you gonna waste your time? You know, because working with people, you know, is time consuming.
absolutely
Just plain and simple. Now, I've been around enough quitters to know what a quitter looks like. You know what I mean? And that's just plain and simple. I've been around enough quitters to know what a quitter looks like. You know, and if it doesn't look like he's in, I'm not gonna, you know, not work with somebody, you know, because I know they're gonna quit. You know, I'd still work with them. You know, but how much, you know, like, how much are they going to get out of it? You know, how much coaching am I going to do for this person? You know, I don't want to just coach someone who I know is going to quit and not get anything out of it. I want to coach someone who might quit, but like get a lot out of it and then come back later, or just get a lot out of it, period. You know, like there's a difference. You can tell people, you know, you can tell people energy, and I'm not just going to give it to just anybody, you know. And the way you could tell a person's energy a lot, you could tell a person a lot about a person by their physical appearance. Plain and simple. I don't care what anybody has to say about that. You know, a person who's you know, physically looks good, you know, you know, most likely they take care of themselves. Most likely they have, you know, things going on where they want to look good. You know, and a lot of the
right.
times, the quitters are going to be the fatties. You know, like, and that's just it. You know, like, I'm sorry. You know, like, a lot of the times it's going to be those people. Why? Because they have a proven track record.
Right, but see, then this is where it gets interesting. Now we're gonna start getting into some stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this is that because now we're looking at, you know, and that's what I was telling you before, is that cherry picking, right?
Absolutely. Why? Because I don't have time for everybody.
Right. Well, you don't give yourself time.
No, I don't give myself. I won't put that energy out there. I just won't.
Right, you're making that choice.
I'm making a conscious choice not to put my energy where it doesn't belong.
Right, and so, you know, I look at things way differently. You know, it's like, okay, everybody is the same. I don't care what they look like. Everybody that's coming through in my path is the same, regardless of what they look like, because everybody has gone through something before they came to me.
Absolutely.
So I don't know if that's the diamond in the rough. And because I don't know, I need to at least see what it's all about and know what I'm dealing with, and absolutely give it a shot. I absolutely give it a shot. And I do my best to give them everything that I can give them, and always leaving it up to them. And if they quit, well, that's okay. I'm not practicing this. This is what I do. And so it's like, if you quit, that's because you quit. Then that's what you decided to do. But they're still going to leave no matter what. Anybody that crosses my path is still going to leave with something. And I still did my job on this earth that I was supposed to do, regardless of whether I reaped it or not.
Yeah.
And so, you know, I can't tell you how many times I didn't go through all that with people that, you know, were dealing with me, my brokenness, and dealing with me and dealing with me and dealing with. I'm not a quitter. I don't quit. I fail. I've lost things, but I don't quit. And I'm still here because of it. You know, if I was a quitter, I would already be, you know, buried somewhere. You know, because that's what true quitters do. You know, they're non-existent because they quit on life in one form or another. They just decided that I don't care. I don't care if this causes diabetes. I'm just going to keep eating sugar and keep doing what I want to do because this is what I tell myself that's making me happy, and it's going to kill me. Okay, well, cool. Then whatever. I'm just saying that the whole thing is that what doesn't matter where people are at, because you never know when that person is going to finally flip the switch and make a change, right? And so I can tell you, I've done this. I've been through this cycle in my life more than once. I've done this, and I've gotten better every single time. Every single time. And I didn't do this on myself. I'm not a self-made man. That's bullshit. You can't be a self-made man. There's no such thing as self-made because somebody helped you along the way. So to tell myself that I was self-made, that would be lying to myself already. Because sure, I did the work, but I had people along the way giving me bits and pieces of information, and I was smart enough to take the best part of those things in the times that I needed it when it was critical. And so now I'm able to take all that information, and even going through the stuff that I went through, things that I thought I would never go through, I'm still able to come back and flourish because I'm flourishing in my newness that I am now. And so it's the same thing. I can't not hold the gift back, and I cannot hold the sack of gold. I've been given a sack of gold, and it's like, you know, here it is. Now, do I give my pearls to swine? No, those are my pearls. Now, my pearls are my pearls. Those I.
I'm losing you, buddy. Wherever you're going with this, I lost you a little while ago.
Yeah, because you're losing focus, and I'm speaking on things that are clear, and it's when because it goes from the experience, right? And now I'm speaking on a different level, and so it's just a matter of where you're at right now and where I'm at, right? And so that's okay. It doesn't mean that I'm better. It just means that I'm a different level. And that's what I was writing about earlier this morning. Is that, you know, you're at where you're at, and that's okay. And this is my coaching with you and everybody else that I speak with, right? It's like, okay, look, this is where you guys are at right now. I get it, but this is what I'm doing, and this is what's causing, you know, me to be successful in this area, and I'm absolutely happy. And so if you're happy right now, great, but you're still missing some things, right? Just like I know I'm missing some things, and so I don't go to you for those things. I go to people that are doing more than you and I. That's the only way that I'm gonna be able to see those things that I can't see. I can't get information from you.
See, now, are you looking? See? This is where I get caught up a lot, and you know, because I know, you know, where I'm at, I know where I want to be, and I know how to get there. And there's a road, and I gotta follow it, and I gotta stick the path just like everybody else before me. You know, I get that part. However, there might be someone who's much older than I am that, you know, might you know some things. However, that doesn't make that person any more valuable than the information that, you know, I would have, or maybe someone else, you know, who might be a little bit earlier on the path, you know, because there's still a level of understanding, you know, that I have versus, you know, someone who's been there still, you know, like I might be late to the game, but that doesn't mean I'm not the winner of this fucking game. You know what I mean? That doesn't mean, you know, like I made the game. You understand? Like I made it. Now,
Well, you haven't made it yet.
No. Listen to me. I made the game. You know, this is my game that I'm playing. Now there might be someone who started, you know, the tournament before me, but you know, I just haven't, you know, like I just haven't played, you know, like as many minutes as that guy. That's the only reason that I'm not, you know, ahead of him, because I haven't played that many minutes. I've been worrying about too many other things. So
right, so you're still behind.
Yeah.
That's all. That's exactly what I'm. That's and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with being behind somebody.
No.
You know, and the thing is that it's who you're behind, right? It goes back to the same thing.
I only follow one person. Are
you behind that you went to the bar with?
I only follow one person. I only follow God. That's it.
Right.
That's it.
But what I'm saying,
That's it. There is no more discussion about it. I only follow one person. That's God.
Right.
There is no more discussion about that. So, I mean, to keep it going, I don't understand. I wouldn't understand how to keep this going if I wouldn't know how to answer any other way. So, now what?
Now what?
Exactly.
Well, the thing is that it goes back to the same thing, though. Who is God?
I know, you know, but I know what I know, and you know what you know, and somebody else might know what they know. But there's a whole lot of stuff that I know that I don't know, and there's a whole lot of stuff that I don't know that I don't know.
Set yourself off of it. You're still doing it right now.
No. These are facts. These are facts. These are not anything other than facts.
I'm talking facts too. That's what you're not getting. And so here we are. This is exactly what I wanted to get to. I wanted to get to this point right here, because you're talking about facts, but so am I.
Okay, so we're at this point we're just agreeing to disagree. But if there is something to disagree about, like what you haven't gotten to a point yet, Fonz. You haven't gotten to a point.
Absolutely, I've gotten to a point.
No, you haven't, because I haven't seen it yet. You might have gotten to it, but right now you're not even allowing anybody else to understand what you're talking about. Nobody knows what you're talking about.
No, people do know. People that understand what I'm talking about. You might not understand what I'm talking about.
Okay, so your job as a coach is to make me understand. So make me understand. You haven't done that yet.
So this is what I'm saying. So this is what I'm trying to tell you. And so it goes back to the same thing. There's levels and stages of understanding.
Okay.
So you still have a lot to go, right? Because you don't understand.
The only thing that you're telling me is that there's different levels of understanding. Now, I need something to understand. I need you to put it in something that I would understand. That would make sense to me right now. That's relevant to this conversation.
Even in the most simplest form, you're still not understanding, and that's what you have to try to figure out. That's for you to figure out.
I'm not playing your game. I'm playing my game. So it doesn't matter if I have to figure out what you want me to figure out. I'm not playing your game. I'm not playing your game.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm not playing your game. 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 I'm not playing it. I'm not playing it.
I get it, and this is exactly what I'm talking about. And so, do I give up? Do I give up because you're so stubborn?
No, we're gonna end the show in a minute and a half.
Right, but what I'm saying is that, but this is the perfect topic. Do I stop coaching because you're stubborn? And the answer
I
is
never
no.
asked you to be my coach. You know, like it's just something that you know just happened. You know, like I'm
exactly.
You just claimed it, and I said, okay, you know, like let's see what this guy's got. But right now, you're not teaching me anything new. You know,
but because you're not susceptible to it. You're just not allowing yourself to be taught.
No, you're trying to coach me at the wrong game. Like you're trying to coach me at a game that I don't even want to play. So since I don't want to play that, let's not play that game. Coach me at something that I want to play at.
Right, and that's the thing is that the Bible tells us that if you're a man of God, the Bible tells us exactly what I'm trying to tell you right now. If we're going to go back to the Word of God, then let's go back to the Word of God. And then the Word of God tells us all men try to do what they want to do unto themselves.
Okay.
But nobody follows me.
I'm not trying to follow you. I said I follow one person. and that's why I'm not following you.
That's what I'm saying. You're not listening.
No, I don't. I'm not listening on purpose. You know, like you're trying to. To me, you're trying to lead me down a rabbit hole and make me answer a bunch of fucking questions.
No, that's where you're wrong.
I might be wrong, but I'm not in doubt about the way I feel about it, and I don't want to play the game.
No, there's no doubt. I understand. This is why it's good to have these forums and the recording of it, because you know me already. You know I'm not trying to lead you down into some into an abyss.
Mm-hmm. You try to get to a point that I've already come into a conclusion about, and that's not important to me.
It's the upward call.
You're trying to pull something that's important to you out of me, but to me it has no importance whatsoever. So that puts us both at a crossroads, or in essence, at a position where we can agree to disagree.
I'm doing it for the viewers. I'm not doing it for me or you.
Yeah, see, but the thing is that this is a real life conversation between the viewers, and a lot of viewers are gonna think, like, well, Eric's kind of right, or they're gonna think, well, Eric, you're dead wrong. And the beauty of it is that they get to side with somebody. They get to side with me, or they get to side with or they get to side with you. However, they also get to see that, in the end, it doesn't really matter. Just like the song.
The bottom line is that it's the upward call. That's the bottom line, right? And because I'm not your age. I'm older than you.
Yeah, and I think, and like there's a
that because I'm older than you, I'm above you, right? Not because I'm better than you. I'm just above you because it's just the way it is. I didn't decide to be born in '78. I was just born in '78. I wasn't just like the people that are above me. They're above me not because I want them to be above me. They're just above me because they were born in '59. They were born in '69. They were born in whatever. And so
that's why that's the reason right there, Fonz, is why I do shit on my own. Is because you can try to justify different things about about the way you see it. But the thing is that I just do my own thing, and that means, like, if I do my own thing, I can either be right or wrong, but at the same time, there is no right and wrong. So I could just be doing me, and you could just be doing you.
There is a right and there's a wrong. There's a right and there's a wrong. Absolutely, there's a right and there's a wrong.
Well, not if you really think about it. No, there's not, because if.
Well, no, there is, and that's again, we're going down,
Well, we can sit here and bicker about if there's a right and a wrong, or we can just continue on with the conversation. Like, if you want to point out every little thing that's going on in the conversation that you don't like, then you can do that. Just the same thing I can do. But however, that we're not going to get very far like that. So it's right now it's at 48 minutes. Maybe we can continue this on another episode.
Yeah, that's good. I'm glad that we got to this point.
All right, buddy. Well, thanks, YouTube.
All right.
Hold on.